Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Wow, that's my niece, Tato, Pinky. I don't know what she's doing. So anyway, I've recorded a video about voting, and I've decided to record another one. I'm not 100% happy about that one. I don't know what my niece wants to do. Do you want to come say hi? Come say hi. Quickly, so you can get out of my video.
Hi.
And hi, YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.
How you doing, YouTube?
How you doing, YouTube?
And then what's this?
Gloves.
You're so dramatic. Kingy. I hope it's not my stuff. Oh, okay. Alright, baby. Sit over there and watch me do my thing. Alright? Maybe you'll be a YouTuber one day. Anyway, as I was saying, guys, I recorded a video about voting, so I want to record another one now. And I am speaking to people that have registered to vote. And those of you who haven't registered to vote, shame on you. Basically, you know. So those of you who have registered to vote and you're like sitting there and you're like, oh, I don't want to go. This is for you. I'm talking to you. And those of you that are going to go, I'm also talking to you. You know, we could talk about a lot of things, right? We can go on about, oh, but Gafana, we vote for this time, Gafana. Stop it. You know, that's not the point. We can go on all day about that kind of talk to say Yafana, Singai, whatever the case is. But Futi, I'm even re-recording this because I was just randomly watching some documentaries as well. And Mina, these documentaries about the past, they make me so emotional. I cry every time I see them. And because I didn't really grow up during apartheid. I didn't grow up during apartheid. I grew up in the 90s. And by the time I started school, when I started grade 1 in 1994, you can imagine we were going out of, you know, we were transitioning into a new country. So you can see where I am in this whole thing. When I watch these documentaries, I learn about what happened. Not unlike my parents who lived through it, they don't need to watch a documentary to be reminded about it, as opposed to me who needs to watch a documentary to see what happened. But by now I know what's going on, and that's the washing machine because my sister is doing her laundry. Yes, if you hear the noise in the background. So yeah, that's where I am about our history and whatever. And the reason I'm going to talk to you guys today is just to implore you to say go. Just go. As a democratic country, we have been democratic since 1994, and that is how many years now? 20?
20. What?
1994
2019?
is 2019. It's 25 years ago. Hey, we must calculate. We're getting old. These things no longer come at the top of our minds. 1994 was 25 years ago, where we are a fairly new democracy in terms of countries that have been democratic in the world, you know. So yeah, 1994 is not a long time ago as well. So yeah, I implore you to please get up and go vote for a myriad of reasons, and some of those reasons are, and I know they're cliched, I know they are, you know, and cliche sayings are true. So yeah, they are cliched for a reason, that people died for you to literally go. And for me personally, right, I am a person who grew up with one grandparent, and that is my mother's mother, and my other 3 grandparents passed away, but my dad's dad passed away when I was 2 years old, so I don't remember that. So, and the other 2, my dad's mom and my mom's dad, passed away before I was even born. So for them even, they passed away before they could even exercise their right to choose who would rule them in their countries of birth, in their country of birth. So for me, it is even an honor to them for me to wake up and go vote, because my grandparents couldn't vote. And I'm going to get emotional. My grandparents passed away and they couldn't vote and they couldn't exercise their human right, you know. And it for me, who is alive today, it's shocking to me that they couldn't do that, and they weren't allowed to do that because of the apartheid government. And my grandmother, who is alive, Punki, oh, my grandmother, who is alive, right? What I know is that she at least she lived long enough to see democracy and live through democracy, you know, and even had a chance to vote and still votes. But my grandmother, who is alive, never fully realized her humanity during apartheid. She was told what she would be. She was told that you would grow up and become a domestic worker. And that is what my grandmother became. And my grandmother is alive today in this world in 2019. She is still alive. And she never fully recognized her humanity. And I imagine what she would have become if she could realize her humanity when she was still younger and when she still had the opportunity of youth behind her, and she could live and be and do whatever, and she wasn't dictated to that you will only become a domestic worker, you're nothing with nothing more than that, or you know, whatever the case is. So you know, the remnants of apartheid are still very much alive in this world today. In 2019, we still have townships, we still have people that living in townships. So the remnants of apartheid are very much alive, but the reasons for us to go vote shouldn't be that difficult, because I am sure you have grandparents. If you are my age or around my age group, you have grandparents. And you have some who aren't alive and who died before 1994 and they could not exercise their right to vote in their own country. You have grandparents, and you're lucky if your parents became anything of what outside of what the apartheid dictated, that the apartheid government dictated, that it could be a teacher, a teacher at a black school, domestic worker, a nurse, not even a doctor. Batong! A nurse, all of those lowly jobs that were reserved for the K word, you know. So yeah, the reason shouldn't fall far. Even when you think about the history of the liberation movement, the fight of our ancestors and those generations that came before us for our liberation, even the youth of 1976 who are now middle-aged, a child that took part in 1976 is in their 40s and 50s today. You know, they're in the 40s and 50s, and the reason I'm getting emotional is because that is not far away, guys. That isn't like a century ago or 3 centuries ago. It's not that far removed from where we are today. You know, those people who took, those children who took to the streets to oppose the apartheid government are middle-aged adults today. And you are going to sit around and say you're not going to vote? Really? When people risk their lives to just have a voice, to just protest. People protest today every day. And in each and every protest that happens in the country today, we are not even fearing for people's lives, unless if they put their own lives in danger, type of thing, you know. But we're not fearing that police are going to come and shoot them and kill them. You know, there might be a bit of a scuffle between the protesters and the police, but we're never afraid that, oh my God, these people protesting and burning tires and whatever, protesting service delivery, they're going to die. No, we don't fear that, you know. So, and for me, I registered to vote from as early as I could. Thank you, babe. As early as I could. Especially I was still living with my mom when I was 18, 19, and I had my ID. And obviously it was over the age of 18 because you can only vote when you're 18. I registered to vote, and my mother dragged me to go vote. And I even remember it was a provincial elections, and I did vote, you know, and I have voted ever since because I'm like, I can't. It is my right. As my Angelo says, I go forth as one, but I stand as 10,000. When I go and I'm in the queue to vote, I reflect on everybody that has ever lost their lives, known and unknown. I reflect about everybody that is in a grave somewhere in South Africa, outside of South Africa, in Zambia, in Mozambique, in Zimbabwe, in Botswana, wherever, even outside of Africa, somewhere that's in a grave, who was fighting for this very right for us to make this decision to vote, you know, or us to have this right to vote. I think of Solomon Mahlangu, whose famous quote is, "Let my blood nourish the tree of freedom." Let my blood nourish the tree of freedom. Those things move me. And he really did die. He died and fighting for our freedom, fighting for our liberation. And his blood has nourished the tree of freedom. There's still a long way to go, yes, I will admit that. But that's not what this is about. This is not about the current state or whatever. It's just the voting part. My niece is such a distraction, guys. Just the voting aspect of our freedom, and it's quite a big aspect in terms of democracy, right? Voting is a very large part where you must take part or have a voice in who rules you. As to what the people are going to do after you've elected them, that's another discussion for another day. But just to take and yes, democracy and freedom comes with a lot of responsibilities and a lot of things that you need to do in order to maintain and keep that freedom. And one of those things is voting. One of those things, and majorly, is voting. Going up, getting up and saying, you know what, I'm taking a stand and I am going to contribute towards saying who gets to rule the country. So, yeah, I implore you to get up and vote. I don't know who I'm voting for. I still am not sure. I'm still thinking about it. I'm weighing my options, but that will not stop me from getting up and going and voting for my niece, for my nephew, so that tomorrow when they ask me, did you vote? Did you have a say in what was going on in the country? I can proudly say yes, I did. Even though things may have gone or have not gone the way that I wanted them, I still had a say in how things were going in the country, you know, by voting. So let us vote. Please go out and vote. Alright? Amanda. Ngawethu. Mayibuye. I-Africa. Mayibuye.
I-Africa.
Amandla.
Ulethu.
Hayi, ngawethu. Thank you guys for listening to this emotional rant. Well, it's not a rant. My emotional speech and me imploring you, featuring my niece Punky, forcefully featuring my niece Punky because she's that girl. You know, follow me on my socials. Let me know if you're gonna go vote. Please comment below and tell me if you're gonna go vote. Catch me, catch me on my socials: Instagram, Terrie Forever; Twitter, Terrie Forever; Facebook. We have a Facebook page now, Terrie Twice. Thank you for watching. Mwah.